It's me. It's Desiree. How are we doing? Let's get ourselves set up as always so I can see your comments. Okay. I believe we are almost set up. Today, it's been a week. Yes, it has. So we are going to have a huge play today. Um, like ink smushing or creating watercolor backgrounds. They relax us. Today, I am going to dust off some stuff and we are going to have fun with our gelli prints. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do some gelli prints and then we're going to make some cards. We're going to add some fronts to them. Good morning, Vicky. How are you doing? I'm so glad you pop in here real quick before your day starts. So yeah, we are going to have fun gelli printing today. So I have here just a glass mat because I'll be able to put my gelli print on here and it won't move. Awesome, you're doing well. And then I have going over the supplies first. So then I have my deli paper and I actually use this. That's going to be my roll off. And I actually use it for tissue paper when I do my craft shows to wrap up my items. So I have lots of that. I have two different types of papers that we're going to be using. Trusty dusty copy paper. That's all we need there. Space is another one, because you're going to constantly, create. Because once you get started, you can't stop when it comes to this. And then I also do have some, this is 65-pound Nina cardstock that I use for gelli printing. It's a very lightweight, but it's smooth. And that's what you're looking for. So I'll have those papers on top here. I've got two size brayers. I've got a 4-inch, and I believe this is a just under 2.5, maybe 2.25. And you want a soft brayer when we're doing this. Good morning, Dama. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. And then I just, went through the house, went through packaging. So I've got one of these non-skip mats. I actually use these sometimes to put my stamp pads on so that they don't slide around if I'm just going crazy with ink blending. I've got some corrugated card where I pulled off the one layer so I can have these awesome little strips. Dig into the trash. I know we're trash dumpsters divers as well. I've got some bubble wrap packaging that gives some great texture. So you don't always have to have stencils or anything like that. Items around the house. I have some either paper towel rolls or toilet paper rolls. Got those as well. You can use crumbled up paper. I'm going to use the back side, make sure it's round, of a brush to create some marks. You don't want anything sharp on your gelli plate. And I'm even going to use a fan brush, possibly. This one's very beat up, but it's got some great ways of creating texture. Lisa, good morning. You are not late. I'm still going over supplies. Oh, okay. I get that. Yeah, the coffee is the morning drink is what wakes us up and tells us, okay, it's going to be a good day. It's always going to be a good day. Okay. And then I grabbed some stamps. I have some stencils here. You could also create your own stencils if you have some background dies. You know, just cut them out of thick cardstock, and you can use them as stencils as well. They won't last as long, but when you're in a pinch, let's get all that together. The only thing that I do want to real quick get is a glass of water. So I will be right back, and then we are going to get started. Okay, I am back. And then, of course, um, Lisa, I really haven't used my plates at all either. And then, of course, I'm going to use acrylic paint. That's what I'm going to focus on. And I have all kinds of different colors going on back there. And again, we're just going to have a play. Let's see what we come out with. You don't, I was trying to, I also have like a rice paper, but I couldn't find that. Forget what I used that for. But copy paper's one of the best things. So if you have that, good morning, Gwen. How are you? Um, go with that. Now I have all different sizes of jelly plates because, of course, when the craze came out, yep, had to have them all. And this is how I store them. I get them out of the clamshell. I remove the two plastic layers because to get them back on, you'll have these air pockets, and those you'll never get them flat back onto your jelly plate. So I watched a lot of YouTubers and mainly Carrie, the crafter, and PM Artist Studio, and they actually they wrap copy paper around them. So Cordelia, good morning. I'm going to not pronounce your name correctly. Is that DL Catato? Good morning. Thank you for stopping by. So these are just thin plastic containers. These are the thinnest that I could find. And I'm going to be using my 5x7. And I think that's like a universal. I do have a 6x6. I have the 8x12 if I want to make a full size. And then this is the 3 by whatever. I'm not sure what that is. And then, of course, I do have a 9x12. But that is like really big. But I do get them out of the clamshell. I put them in paper. And again, it's going to leach. So these have mineral oil in them. And that's fine. I mean, it doesn't do any damage. You do have to take care of these by conditioning them back with baby oil. And I'm going to put that, I want to make sure you all can see that. So I'm going to put this right here. Boop. I do want to make sure that it's straight. All right, so we've got that. I've got my deli paper. I've got my acrylics. And we are set to go. So this is a 5x7, and I think that is a perfect size to have. If you want to go larger, you can go with the 8x10. you know, you're just going to have a white border around it. But again, we're cutting these up. I use these for backgrounds. You can create master boards with these. You can create card fronts with these, even if you're using copy paper. And that's what I'm going to show you, because I'm going to use the two different types of paper. It's Dana. Okay, wonderful. All right, Dana, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Just making, I'm writing something down here because it just came across my phone. And I don't want to forget it because I've been waiting for that note. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to have a play. But I do think the 5x7 is a good size. Along, if you want to go bigger, the 8x10. The 9x12, you know, it's so large. While it's good, you know, you've got to have that paper that's that size too. You can also practice on newsprint, but just remember it's not archival. You know, again, you know, copy paper is, you know, somewhat archival, and so forth. But again, it's not like it's going to break down in a day. So something to remember. Awesome, Dama, you got your coffee. Awesome. Yeah, Cordelia, me too. You know, I have, when I went through my clean and everything else, I see all these wonderful things. And for some reason, jelly printing was coming up in my feed a lot. And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to do it. And then finally, to decorate, add dimension, and all of these fun things, I grabbed some stamps. So we're going to have fun stamping on top of them as well. So yes, this week was a week. It was very much all over the place. It's very hectic. So me and my sister went to a craft showcase at a winery. Aww. Had a wonderful slushy, very good slushy. But I found they had great artists there. And there was one artist there. I wanted to real quick show this. Yes, I'm doing a show and tell. I'm just going to put my copy paper back on this real quick. She actually designed her own watercolors. I did not buy them. And her own books. So my sister actually got me these two books. Aren't they cute? One is all seaside and the other one is floral bouquets. My sister loves the beach. So she chose this one. And then I just really liked the bouquets. Very thick paper. It feels like it's hot press paper. And she actually gives instructions. She shows the color palettes and then she gives like a light sketch on this side. So these are like little tiny watercolor workbooks. So I thought they were really, really cool. And then there's a QR code there that you can hit to get to a free painting class by the artist. So that is what my sister actually got me these. I didn't even buy these. And I just thought they were really, really cute. Very cute. Her setup was really cute too. She designed her own brushes and all of that. It's really, really fun. A lot of fun to walk around. And I also went there because I'm hoping to actually teach there my Zentangle. So that will be fun. Yes. Yes. A sip and a tangle. I think it'll be awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I'm really excited to play in those books. Enough of that. Let's have some fun. Let's start gel printing. Now, I know enough about gel printing, so this is just a play. We are just going to have some fun. like I said, dig into the trash, save your packaging. I also have these. These are, I think I got these from Joggles a long time ago. They're like press prints, so I thought, they would be cool if we put those down on there as well. So let's just get started. So let's just do a basic print and let's see what we get. Let's just have some fun with it. So I think I'm going to start with this turquoise blue. I know you don't want to put a lot of paint down, little tiny dots. The thinner, the better. Like that's probably too much, but we can fix that. And you always want to go in one direction. You don't want to go back and forth. And we just want to smooth this out. Now that was actually, I think, the perfect amount. Now I'm probably going to work a little quicker, and I'm going to hold to this and roll that off there to clean that. I'm going to put this down. Let's grab a piece of copy paper. I'm going to work a little quicker. I'm going to use the top of my fingers and mainly my right to press down. Let's see what we get. Oh, that's fun. So we're going to hold that one, and then we can lift this up. So now we actually kind of sort of have that print there. I'm going to press this down. Onto my deli paper, and that's pretty much how I'll clean my stencils. I'm okay with this residue going on there. We can add texture to this. So I'm going to come in with the cardboard and press down. But this may have already dried already, which is cool if it dries, because now we can come in. I'm going to come in with two colors. Because if you let this dry, and when you work with a jelly print, if you're doing layers, what you put down first is what you're going to say, if that makes sense. Put some white. And then I'm going to try this lime green. It's an olive green, but it seems pretty enough. I'm going to come in with my small one and just, I don't know, do this in different directions. But I want to cover the entire back, and I may have to turn my overhead fan off. I'm going to grab a piece of the cardstock. One piece will do. You'll know you have, from what I've seen, you'll know you have too much paint if your paper is sliding. You should be able to rub this with just one hand and the paper just gripping down. Now it should, key phrase, let's see. Look at that. So now we have that. And it's kind of cool. And you can see where I didn't spread out the white too much. We still have that there. Now, I like those bits I think those bits add interest. We can also do layers. Now, I think the fan is going to, over me, is going to work in my favor for when we want to have these, when we want to do layering. So I'm trying not to let that be too full. And then let's add another color. See what we get. This might be too much, but again, this is just a play. Let's just see what we get. Just pulling in the colors. Actually adding a little bit of water. So this is the fan brush. And trying to, because I know that base already dried. And just go all over. Now it's starting to separate, but again, I'm okay with that. Let's grab a piece of copy paper. See what we get. Now remember, we have little tiny bits that were underneath that we may see. Well, happy birthday, Lisa. I hope you were spoiled. Now this paper's buckling a little bit, and that's because of the water. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to love the next print. There you go. So the water just created these different spots through here. And that's kind of dark. I may want to come in with something over that in a little bit. Loving that. So that we're going to let dry. So that's what these are great for. We can just do this. There goes the deli paper. I want that to dry because there's still some wet areas there. I don't like to put a hair dryer. Definitely do not put, I can't imagine anybody would put any type of heat source on these. Again, it's jelly. I could only imagine this going sound effects and all. I just want some of these. I'm okay if some of it mixes, but I definitely want to put a white background on that one. But that's what these are good for too. Okay, I'm just going to put little bits. don't have my deli paper down. So I hope everyone had a good week. My husband, Cordelia, and I missed it. You want to see it? I'll pull it back in. I'll show you. I also go in there. Oh, I bet there was, Vicky. There was a woman at the showcase that we were at yesterday where she goes to like antique malls and you can always, ooh. And this is also how you can clean. For the most part, we've cleaned this when we have those bits. So that one's like really, really cool. You can even see some of the letters there and all of that fun stuff. So in the matter of moments, this is what we've done so far. Got that. And then this one. That's the one you missed, Cordelia. Now, what I like also about using copy paper, and you do need space because they do need time to dry. Not long. I mean, I've got this fan going, which I think I'm going to turn it off. We're placing these things all over the place. So you do run out of space. I'll place this one down. So again, we're going to use our stencils. I'll go back to the cardstock for this one. Now, what I like to do when it comes to when we're taking a print and there's a stencil down, I'll add on top of that. So those I'll kind of keep off here once they're dry. So this one I know is dry, and I'll keep brayering on top of that. We'll pull that up. Try not to waste any paint. Lay that down, see what effect we get there. It's like another way to get a ghost print in a way. That's drying. Where's my fan? And let's see, what colors do we want? Let's go with pink. White is always my go-to. And if that's going to be your go-to as well, you want to make sure you have a lot of it. Now, you can use, I've just always stuck with acrylics. You can use acrylic inks. You can use the flow acrylics, and you're just going to get different effects. when it comes to what your print's going to do, how that's going to work. Now, if you find, yeah, I'm going to have to turn my fan off because that's making this dry. You see, I can brayer on that and just get a different effect. So now I'm just going to come in with any color up on top here, just so that I can pull this. Now there's all kinds of technical terms, long pull, short pull, I don't know. I would suggest watching Carrie, PM Artist. They do magical things with that. This is a non-wax deli paper, Dama, but you can use anything over here. You can even use, and I'm going to pull it in. I saw this, and I forget the artist's name. It was something that I just happened to see last night. This is very therapeutic, this part. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but I like what it left behind. So we got a little bit of the yellow, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it also doesn't mean that we can't add to these as well on top, like we did with this one. So you can just have fun with a brayer. Now I do want to pull that up. Let's mix some colors. Let's go with the yellow, and let's go with a spot of this green. That's a lot. That's okay. Well, that's going to be an annoying sound. And let's see if we can get the rest of that purple up. Carrie does. I love the gel prints that he gets. And again, just like with anything, takes, oh my. Well, that didn't do anything. Did something. But that's something that we'll add to it. Let's dry that. I'm going to clean. Let's not lose the deli paper again. Ha. And just, I know you may see the air bubbles underneath that this is sitting on my what do you call it, glass mat. That's okay. They're not going to sit here long enough to cause any issues. But I did want to put this on a white background so that you can see the colors. And yeah, go ahead. You can tangle over these because, again, you're not having thick amounts of paint on top. I gotta turn my fan off. Because you want your layers thin, but my fan is just blowing and it's just drying it. Even when I put that second color on. But I'm not unhappy with the results. So that's kind of cool. The way the colors that are coming out with the pink background. Let me put that there. I'm going to pick this up. And I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to turn this like that. Can you still see it? Yes, you can. There we go. Oops. Because I want to have my deli paper here, which will be trapped underneath that. And then this here, because we can start building. Again, this grunge is good. It's a good grunge. Let's see, what color do we want to put on top? That's dry. Let's see if this works better now without my fan. Here we can just put a swipe there and clean the rest off. Let's grab this, put that down, lift that up. Yeah, fan caused issues. So now when I pull that print, so note to everyone, no fan. And I am cutting my paper, down to size. So I just took an 8.5 by 11. And cut it in half. So now this one's cool because you can still, it picked up all the bits that were there before. It left new bits. But you can see that purple and you can definitely see your patterns in here. So again, warming up, seeing what we've got. Let's do a two-tone. Add some white because that's just my color. Go back to the small one. And the bubble wrap. We've all had things shipped to our house. We all have bubble wrap. Because I know I picked up 2. Let's see what we get. See, there you go. And you don't have to throw that bubble wrap away. It'll just build up. Good morning, Gloria. How are you doing? Welcome. So I figured I would just do some prints, see what we get for about an hour. So now we have that. I do like the way the blotchiness comes across. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to clean my plate. I'm going to get that tangerine off. And you can see we're just adding blocks now on top of it. And because it's light, it's still going to show through, except if you have a darker color. This is just a damp cloth that will remove all of those bits. So if you, don't like that grunge look, then just have a damp cloth by you, and it's just going to take that paint right off. I don't use baby wipes. Do not use baby wipes. And then I just make sure all the little dusty particles are off, and I just run my hand on it. And now the plate's clean now. Awesome, Gloria. You're going to be there? Yes, I can't wait to go. This is going to be wonderful. All right. Let's have... So let's create. So I like to use the smaller brayer. I'm going to call it model the colors, so to speak. I'm just going to put this deep purple here just a little bit. That's probably a lot, but let's go with it. And let's use the fan brush to get the colors around. I think the gray is going to get lost. So I'm just going to tap this. I'm curious to see what this is going to do. I'm going to try to make sure I get out to the edge. And at the same time, I'm trying to make sure that this is covering, because I have some heavy spots I mean, why not? We're not damaging because this isn't sharp. And I'll know once I put this paper down if that was a lot. Well, it's not moving too bad. I don't know. We might be lucky with this one. That's cool. Dark, but cool. Let's dry that with our handy dandy fan. So you can use, a brush. What you're running the risk of, these are the areas where, the brayer is going to, at least I think, again, I think, the brayer is going to thin out. The paints so that they're that smooth layer, and that's what you're looking for. So this, I know, is not enough. So we're going to come in with more. It's okay if you put too much, because you can remove it. So don't think you can't. You can. Oh, have a good one, Vicki. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do too, damn it. I am a purple. Purple and then, yeah, black. I love black. There you go. What? So that one's cool too. So you can create all kinds of different backgrounds that you want to do. Maybe you're not an ink smusher, and you can use any acrylics that you would want to use. Fluid acrylics, the inks. And then that's something that I'm going to look at once I get comfortable with this. To say, okay, this is what I want to do here. This is what I'm going to do here. And all of that fun stuff. Let's just put some pink down. I wish they came in different containers. And I could be very well not putting enough paint down. And again, it's all a thing. This is a mask. I'm going to put that down. So we have that. Now I got to carefully pick this up. You know, again, nothing sharp. Let's slap this down on top of that. So it's like you're making a master board, but with paint. And having fun with the paint. We're just going to let that go like that. And I do want this to dry. Let's check out the comments. Black does go with everything. It does. I do like it as an accent, but I think that also comes from, yes, I was goth. Back in my day. Question, why aren't you using a brush when you pick up the paint? I don't know what you mean. When I pick up which paint? On my paper? Instead of using a brayer instead of my hands? All right, that's dry. Let's go bold and go with a brown. Because your brayer, so this is 5 by 7. This is only 4. If I use the brayer, it could put these lines in on the side. So yeah, it could put the indentation on each side of the brayer. That's like whenever you start, over time, as you continue to use your brayer, you'll get paint up in here. You want to make sure that your brayer's got smooth surfaces because it'll put that extra paint into your impression. And if you don't want it there, then you have that. With your fingers, and if you notice, I'm only using this part. Like this, I'm able to use my whole hand because I don't have any rings on this hand. This one I do. I don't take my rings off. So I'm only using my fingers here, and that's going to give that smooth impression. All right, let's just go with a touch there and a touch there. Yep, you guessed it. White. You will wear paint. Just saying. So if you do not like to get your fingers inky or anything like that, yeah. So I keep my. I'm gonna come in with the smaller one again. You knew there was going to be a brown in here, right? I'm just, trying to, get that whole vintage photo look. I'm just saying. Again, it's just colors. It's just paint. And these are good for collage. Now, you could also take one of those 12 by 12s that we don't know what to do with and tear these up, make your master board with that. I don't think that pulled that up at all. No, it didn't. But that's okay, because I like that. And I'm going to come in with more white on this one. And I can still see the image down there. Oh, damn it. Yeah, no, need to, you need PM Artist Studio. You want to watch them. You want to watch Carrie, the crafter. I love what he does. He is very inspiring. That's it. So again, you can go very soft, but there's that print right back in there. So some of these, the ones that are going up that way, are the ones okay, you know what? I don't want to add anything to that. I might add some white on top with mark making and stuff like that. These over here, I'm having a play. I'm adding blocks over it. Like this one, I may leave this one alone and just add some marks over this. So that one's going to go up there. This one I can still add to. This one I'm still going to add to. We can add to this one as well. And then we're going to add to this one as well. So these going over here are ones that I'm going to continue to play with, to pull over and to add things. I'm going to make sure that's in the view, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm keeping one of these here, one of these here, and just having fun. Absolutely, Cordelia. Gelli Art also has great tutorials when it comes to this as well. I am going to keep that pink on there. Let's go with a yellow, maybe. We can probably I'm going to put yellow on this. I'm going to grab this. Go in. No, that's not enough. So I want to try something different here. So I just transferred from there to that. Just want that. So I'm trying to get something all over the place. And I'm sure that there are other ways to do this. But remember, you work in reverse, just like we do for masking. When we mask, you know, a piece, the first piece we stamp, that's the one that's going to be in the front. The first paint that we put down, that's what's going to be in the front. So let's use our either kitchen roll or toilet paper roll. And we can make marks with this. So you can almost paint, you know, on your jelly plate. Remember, nothing sharp. Nothing sharp. If you see you got a lot of paint in one area, I'm just going to keep tapping over that to try to flatten it out. I'll make our circles a little bolder. And then I know that this is drying, so I'm good with that. So we got that. There's something else I wanted to do. You can pull in your paintbrush. I love this acrylic paint, but the containers are annoying. So you can be strategic, I think. Just tap your paintbrush out onto a surface so that it gets throughout the brush. I don't know if this is going to work. But it'll be cool if it does. Let's let that dry. Well, what color? Oh, let's really wrap it out. So I'm just using the brush to fan it out. Okay, fingers crossed, because I really like this one. But we need it to dry. We need that to dry. Good morning, Eileen. Hello. I think I'm going to like just the painting. I don't want to call it painting. Well, yes, Gwen, it will if it works. Just saying. But I can tell it's not dry yet. No. And you want it to be dry. And that's got a lot of paint right there. So I'm going to tap that off. So, welcome to the channel, watching paint dry. Yep. But I should put my fan back on. All right. We're going to give it a go. We're going to come in with white. Because I don't think any other color is going to be good. And we're going to clean that off first. I got a lot of buildup going on there. I should put these in other containers. I just don't want to buy them. We're going to put a little bit more than what I think I should. I don't think that purple's going to come up. I'm going to use my palm, just a little bit more force. Yeah, that blue didn't come up. But the green did. So that's hopeful. Okay. I like that. Now that's one to tangle on. You can put like flux going on top of that and have Hollis come through. Just say. All right. I'm going to come in with a gray. Nope. Come in with pink. Cannot get them to come up. What am I doing wrong? They somewhat came up. Let's try something. Yep, I'm just going to go right back in with a piece of paper. Well, hello, Reagan. How you doing? the circles. Yes. And I like that one. So maybe I was putting too much paint. I'm not quite sure. Very interesting though. Very, very interesting. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, that got wet. All right, let's put that down. Let's pull that one in. I think that was it. All right, let's continue with, I'm really liking the, I don't know, I'm kind of liking that paint thing, paint idea. So I'm just getting the paint off of the cardboard. So I'm just pushing it down, and that's pretty much how I'm cleaning that off. And I'm doing that on one of these, because again, this is like the, not the throwaway, but the base. Let's go with this. I'm going to clean that. Because I don't want that turquoise. And we'll make a couple more. There we go. Okay. The orange. I'm going to put a base of the orange down. It's a pretty orange. Spots. We're going with all the textures. Bubbly spots. Dry time. Angie, good morning. I am going to come in with a dark blue on this one, Eileen. I don't know why. And again, like I said, there's all kinds of different things that you can put on your jelly plate. It is going to get stained over time, but as long as, from what I'm seeing, as long as we take care of it, You know, I may be keeping the paper down too long, right? All right, I think that's dry. This is my favorite color, Prussian blue. I love Prussian blue. Because I think I have the right amount of paint. There is nothing like Prussian blue. Absolutely nothing like it. I'm running out of room. The only thing I don't think that I'll use for or put on my jelly plate, oh no, 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 is I don't think I'll use my, like stamping inks. I know you can. I've seen Jennifer McGuire do it. Right, that kind of came up. But we're going to have fun with white on that one. Even though it didn't do what I wanted it to do, I'm liking it. But this is a buff white. Let's see what this, oh, this is thick. Okay. But a lot easier to put down. I am curious though about, I don't think this is enough. The inks. Acrylic inks. And I do have them. Cool. I like that. I don't know why, but I like that. And I'm going to come in with white now on this one. So just like with anything, you've got to get the feel. And what I'm realizing as I'm doing this, I don't think I'm putting enough pressure as I am wiping this down. I think that's what my issue is. I think I'm being too light. You're not going to break the jelly plate, of course. It's a spongy item. Yeah. So put pressure down on it and you will get all of those bits coming up. I think that one's too dark. I picked a lot of dark colors. And now we're just throwing the kitchen sink here. And let's see what we get. You never know. Now see, this I know is too much paint. Oh, didn't want to do that. Did not want to do that. So if you have too much, just get it off your brayer. And then you're going to be removing the paint. I personally like the way this is just going. I don't know. Call me crazy? Let's go with a... What's that? I don't want to go dark. Wish I had a pale blue. I don't have a pale blue. Kalinda, good morning. How are you? Yeah, I'm really liking these. They're boo-boos, but I'm really liking them. Let's go psychedelic. Let's try for this last pull. This is going to be my last pull. I'm going to try metallic. Curious. And you know this isn't going to be my last one. No. Because there's one more thing I want to try. Cannot get that to come up. I do like the gold on there, though. Move that. Move that. We're going to let those dry. We're going to... That one came out really cool. See, even your brayer. You can just take your brayer and put your colors in, and you can get some really neat effects. So I'm not unhappy with the pulls. I think they're kind of cool. Yeah, I just got to keep playing. And you'll know because the paper will just suction right to it. Yeah. There it is. That's the pull. Jazz. Jazz. All right. We're going to try one more because now I have an idea. And I'm just going to keep all that there. And then I'll have to clean up a little bit. Just saying. Yeah, I've seen them do that too, where they leave it there, the bottom layers. Oh, and I want this one too. To dry. I think I'm just not putting, it's where I put the second layer and I'm rubbing it down. I'm not sure. I don't have that, I'm going to call it a touch yet. Okay, so this is pewter. And I don't want the turquoise on there. So we're going to cut it. So this is another metallic. And again, I keep turning it just to flatten out. The pile of paint, because you don't want to have that. You just want this thin coat. And I'm sure you could probably paint this on. Yeah, I'm coming in with the brush again. I really want to figure that one out. I can feel it. Also liking the idea that you can possibly, I haven't seen any. I'll have to do some looking to paint. I just don't know how that would look. You know? I'm just trying, I see a lot of bumps. So I'm trying to take the brush and just smooth those out just a little bit. So we're going to have different looking circles. And again, just trying to get those thin layers. Okay, we're going to let that dry. Yes, now I've got this though on my brush. So we'll add that. Let that dry. I'm going to add that's going to go all over the place. I'm going to add the Prussian blue on this one. And we'll see how this one goes. So we'll let that one. So while this dries, I am going to just real quick put some of this stuff away. Just a few. I do like the way the metallics work. On that. And I'm really hoping I closed all these. I'm going to keep the metallics out. I have an idea. Nope, not dry. We're going to wait. There is something else that I am going to show as well. So maybe, because I always like to show options, you guys know that. There could be somebody out there that doesn't want to get into a jelly plate. And I save all of these, even though there's paint on them, I save them. They go into a little tiny box container that I have. So I know when I have packaging, certain packaging, I look at this box because I can't keep all the packaging. Could you imagine if we did that? And if I find, okay, you know what, I need a few more pieces of bubble wrap, or I need a few more pieces, or a few more things of the paper towel, or toilet paper, I will save them. Absolutely save them. Okay. So now we got that. And we can put this here as well. So that's cool. But maybe you don't want to make the investment in a... Nope, still wet. The metallics will take a little longer. Into a jelly plate, because they're an investment. They truly, truly are an investment. I'm going to turn my fan back on because that worked, and then I'll turn it off before I put the Prussian blue on. That's a little too much. I think you could use the rubbing plate to put a design on the plate, or did you can, yes. And that's kind of, again, kind of sort of, but you can also, take this. So if I wanted to, I could take this. All right, let's have some fun. And if I have to, I will set this aside to dry. So if you take a bead of paint, load up your brayer, now of course I've got my fan going, quickly flip it. Let's see what this does. If anything, did something. And it did not, it took some of the pewter away, but it did leave a mark. So you want to make sure, and what I've seen people do too is to take a second, I'm really cleaning this now, take a second jelly plate and have it next, and that's where you can have your paint to come across. You can do that as well. So you would have two of them running. I just chose not to have that second one. Now, after each session, because I have played before with this, is I do like to make sure it's clean. So before we make the cards, I'm going to clean it. You don't have to condition it every time, and you just need a baby oil. You need a mineral oil to condition these. And then again, I put them back in between a piece of copy paper. And I'm going to use cardstock on this one. All right, let's give it a try. What's the worst thing that can happen? Right? Fan off. Now, and I'm also not putting too much pressure here. And again, I'm just using tops of my fingers, making sure I go around the edges. Nope. Nope. But it's interesting. But I don't know. Maybe I'm letting it dry too long. You never know, but I'll figure it out. You never know. Now, I don't know if I want to leave the top layer on that long. I don't know. But it'll give me something to research. That's cool. That is cool. Like that one. Little psychedelic going on there. And then I think I just need oil on that one. Oh my. Build up. Where's my rag? Oh, I think this one's going to pull. Yeah. I think this one's going to pull. Honestly, I don't think I'm putting down enough paint, even though it looks like I'm putting too much. But metallic just wants to hang on there. But I like that too. You got some shells going on there. The never-ending pull. Oh, this is the fun, right? You gotta have fun. Well, that's an annoying sound. I've seen, there was one woman, I actually saw her, they like leave paper, I forget what it was, like a board or something, on here overnight to do a pull. Overnight. No. I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm not pulling quick enough. But I really do like where these are going. All right, last one. And then we're going to clean. Yeah. Nope. Biddy is very good. You like that sound? Well, that whole area just does not want to come. It's pulling it. Because again, that was white, but no, it just don't want to do that. Nope. Nope. So we're going to set that aside. I'm going to let that dry. And then we're going to come in with beige. All right. And again, it's nothing, it's all a learning process, right? So if I'm learning, you guys are going to learn along with me. But again, let's say you don't want to invest. You like this idea. You like this look of the Gelli plate. Again, Gelli plates, they are up there. You know, they're definitely an investment. You could, even brayers. I mean, I have to admit, brayers can be expensive as well. So you always want to make sure that you clean your brayer. And again, this is just a damp cloth. And you want to make sure that you get that paint off there. These can pop out as well. So I'll do that later on. I'm not going to go to my sink right now and clean it off, but you can see just how well they pop off. You want to make sure you look at this area too. So I think these, at least I think they do. They may not. But you also want to look into that area there because paint will gather up as it's splashing. It'll gather up in that spot as well. And then same thing on this. I'll just swipe it along the long way. And again, I'll run it under warm water and just wash it there. Make sure, again, I'm going to look at this area here. You can see the splashes coming up. And making sure that that's clean as well. And again, it's acrylic paint. While it dries permanent, it's not technically permanent. You can wash it away. You could just get a brayer when it comes to doing or getting these effects. You don't have to have your Gelli plate, because if I have a piece of cardstock here, I can put a string of paint down, brayer through it, so here I'm getting that, And here I'm going to get this and just brayer down. This is now clean. If I want to take more off this, I can do that. So now I've got two things going on here. So I can turn this one if I want, come in with another color. Small bead. And you can get the skinnier ones, you know, the 2.5. And then do the same thing. Just go straight up, turn it, go across. And you're building a background just with your brayer and your cardstock. And you're actually building two. You're getting two different pieces. I would probably work on two large 8.5 by 11 so that you have more real estate. Just again, a thin line, going to come in with the Prussian. This one's going to be heavier, and if you have too much there, just pick it up with your brayer over those areas and grab a scratch piece. And because of the way that it falls, now you've got a third one that can go through. And then again, you've cleaned your brayer. So you don't necessarily have to have the jelly print to get backgrounds like this. Now I am going to turn on, no I'm not going to turn my fan on yet because we have this piece drying and I want it dry. All right. Can you come in with white? Absolutely, you can. Now you can go directly onto these. And just swipe with your finger. Our hands are the best tools that we have. And again, all we did was put it on with our finger. And we're getting our own marks that are coming across that piece. And I'm dragging that blue out now more. I can come in and drag across that white. Now I got that white going on up there. So again, you can just have fun with the brayer and your fingers. And depending upon how thick you put it directly onto the brayer, I'll come across here again. Add some dots. You can position it and then swipe straight up. And now you got these little valleys. And turn your paper. Come across different angles. By going back over it, you take some of it away. And for me, white's key. So now you've got 3 different backgrounds, and all you used was about a 2.5-inch brayer with any paint that you have. And again, when I say acrylic paint, it can be the Americraft, the Deco Art. It doesn't have to be the tubes that I used when it comes to this. Okay? So again, it's an option. And again, these make great collage pages. So I'm going to put these over here just to dry. The last thing, and again, just use copy paper. It does not have to be cardstock. Copy paper is great when it comes to this. But the other thing you can use, I'm grabbing it, hang on. Is a sketchbook. That one I've already used. And what would be even better, honestly, is one that has tear out pages. This one here's, I think, one of the, yeah, these are one of the Rangers. And it's got all kinds of different papers in it. I don't know if these are still available. So here this has, burlap, very textured something, not quite sure, denim. You can, again, just with your brayer, or if you have a Gelli print, you can use this as your clean off. So have your Gelli plate next to you. So I'll put this here because we are going to do that one print. That one print, she's ready. I don't know if I'm ready, but I think she is. So I'm just going to go to the middle. I really like this denim. Crack the spine. But if you have a sketchbook that has tear out pages, you can use them for collage and get those all out and about. All right, we're going to go with the white. And I'm going to put a dab of pink. Now, if this one doesn't work, and I'm even going to go with the one more color here, right next to it. If this doesn't work, we're going to let it go. Yep, we're going to let it go. And I'm going to clean. So you can certainly do a sketchbook as your clean off. If you didn't want to use any papers, if you didn't want to use anything like that. And you can fill up with these wonderful backgrounds and then have fun putting die cut images or anything like that on top. She does not want to come up. I don't know if that's actually stained or what. But nope. Although that's cool. I don't know. Don't know. The other good thing about a sketchbook is it stays stationary. So you can do two things at once. Pulled up a layer. But yeah, she just does not want to come up. Which now it's just like a mission. It's like I'm determined now. And again, I know it's me. I absolutely know it's me. Got to be quicker. Yep. Got to be quicker. That's what the issue is. See? Knew we'd figure it out. But I'm loving that too. And we're cleaning that. Hello, Heidi. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I watched. Now this I'll keep open so that it can dry. But that looks cool. So sketchbooks are great. And I know there's some sketchbooks out there, like I said, that have the pages that tear out. Because that's what we use are these sheets. You know, we use them for backgrounds. We use them whether they're for card backgrounds, journal backgrounds, whatever it is. We use them for those things. So to have them on heavy paper, you know, would not be a good thing. You want to be able to move it. That was like a footprint. Let's try ghost print. So copy paper works great for that. There we go. Hello. Bingo. Quick pull, less paint. Quick pull, less paint. Jeez. Now, let's clean this up and let's make some cards. What do you think? Good morning, Shay. How are you doing, Heidi? And I will probably forget less paint, quick pull. So, what I'm going to do is just wipe this down and make a horrible sound for you all when it comes to this. Now, you honestly can leave the paint on here It's not going to damage your plate. It's not going to leave any marks. I don't need to condition this yet. I'll condition, or these plates have been conditioned maybe once before. I mean, again, I've had these for a while. This is the one that I've always used. So I'll condition them maybe once every 6 months. And that's just, I use baby oil, Johnson's baby oil. You can, but you want to make sure whatever oil you use when you condition your plates, you do want to make sure that it is a mineral oil. So the other types of mineral oil that I've seen people use, lots of acrylic flubbies, is for, what do you call it? Cutting boards in your kitchen. I will take my hand over this to make sure that there's no acrylic dust bunnies. Piece of copy paper, and I'm going to flip that down. And then I'm just going to look. I just want to make sure when I put this away that there is nothing on top. Like there is something right there. Because even though you have paper, it can still put a dent in your plate. And I encourage you to go to Carrie the Crafter. He explains this so much better and in so much greater detail. There's a fuzzy under there. And like, see that one? I want to get that one out. Because they will leave an indent in your plate. They may come out over time, but they may not. And then I just take another sheet and I put that on top. I don't store them upright, I store them flat. And then I put them back into this type of plastic case. And then they just sit on my shelf. Just like that. That's it. All right. Let's see here. Just going through the comments because I'm sure I missed a lot. I don't like missing. If I miss saying hello to anybody, I am so sorry. Yes, you do, Angie. You do get to sit next to me. I have a wonderful pod that I will be sitting with. You know what? It didn't matter where I sat. It did not matter. It did not matter. Because it's just going to be wonderful. Oh, that's fun. All right. So we'll clean that. So you have options when we do gel plate printing. You don't, to do gel plate printing, yes, you need the gel plate. But do you have to use that? No, get a brayer. And you can create beautiful backgrounds with that. Oh, they glue together. You know, just like, not that one, this one. And this one. 19, 20, 21. So no, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, ooh, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. I like that one. That was done with the fan. 32, 3, 34, 35, 36. 36. That's not bad. Not bad at all. And none of them are failures. None of them are failures. Exactly. Thank you, Regan, for pointing that out. Yes, 20 pulls ago, I said that. Yes. But it's very addicting. I was not frustrated, but I was determined. Very much determined. I mean, this one is just cool. Can it be added to? It can. And we're going to add to these when we make our cards. So again, you can just continue to build with basic supplies. Now I am going to pull in some stamps, and that's my phone. My goodness. When it comes to these, because I think these are great backgrounds. I do like a grungy look. Now, this one's not so grungy. So if you like to get a color down, put a stencil on top of it, do a print off of that, and then put a color behind it. This worked. So again, I lost there is a technique. There's the concept of a short pull, a long pull. And I think where I was, I've got to get the paint down and then do a short pull. Don't do a long pull. And what that means is constantly sit there rubbing the gel plate with the paper. Because what's happening, it is drying underneath. Even though your paper's on top, it's drying. So I think that's why I wasn't able to pull. So you got to do a quick pull. So I believe that's what I was doing wrong. So none of these are failures because you learn through the process. None of these are ones that will be thrown away. Absolutely not, because we are going to add interest. Yeah, I love the brush technique is really cool, by the way. I will have to check her out too. So Elizabeth it's just, you get into this rabbit hole and but again, it can be applied to what we're doing. But you do get into it. But then again, I got into it because, let's finger paint. Who doesn't love well, okay, there are some, I'm sure, that don't enjoy finger painting. I get it. So I'm going to pull a few out. I'm going to pull this one because I just think it's cool. This one's fun because it didn't do the full pull, but I mean, we've got these areas here. And even though I wasn't sure about that, I like that one now. Got our lines coming in. We've got this. I think that one's cool. Oh, I like that one just because of the colors. We finally got that up. And I want to use one of these. So I think I'm going to use this one. And again, this is our clean off. So cool. You've got all of these blocks that are going on. I do love the platinum or the pewter with the phthalo blue. Oh my god, if that only worked. We're going to try it next time. I'll be trying these alone. But these are also going to go into my container because fan brush. It worked. It again, just like with everything. With watercolor, you gotta get that technique down and all of that fun stuff. Let's see which one. I like that one too. Alright. So all of these we're gonna have some fun with. I don't know. I am going to test on some of these if you can tangle over them. I think I'm going to use a Sharpie to do it. Because they do get shiny. But you can also use, and that's something that I didn't pull out, a clear matte medium to do that, to do the pulls as well. And that supposedly, I don't know how it deadens them down when that's the first thing. But allegedly, again, gotta read. Got to read. Gotta watch. Have fun. I'll make my husband go golf and I'll be able to watch all of that. All right, let me get these away. All right. Whoops. There we go. So now let's have some fun stamping. So it's just like a master board, or at least that's how I look at it. It's just like a master board when we look at these. They're just mini master boards. I'm going to grab my VersaFine ink. No, I'm going to grab my archival and my brown and my black. And I'm going to pull this one up. This is called Papillion. Oh, and I had something go weird with one of my stamp sets. Wait till you see it. Very odd. I'm going to stamp this in brown. That looks like a woman sitting down. Which one? This one? Shay? All right, we're going to stamp this down. Now, I could put these in my stamp positioner, but honestly, I want them to have that grunge. You know, I don't want it to be a perfect stamp. And a lot of times I don't even put them on a block. And I don't know where I'm going to be cutting these. So I'm just going to have some fun along the side. to frame it in a way. I didn't want that side. And again, just have fun with your stamping. So yeah, look at this. So this is the moth study. I'm sorry if people don't like moths. But watch. The imprint from the stamp stuck to this. Very odd. Very, very odd. And it did it to all of them. The numbers are great. Yeah. I think it's this one. Yeah. Number 2. So I've never had that happen. Never. And I think I'm going to have to completely clean this plastic because I don't think they're going to stick. I think they're going to, not from a block, but now I'm going to have to know which way it's stamping to make sure that I'm stamping it correctly. So, yeah. Has anyone ever had that before? I've never seen it before. Never, never, never. Oh, I wouldn't. That's not something I'm sure they would. I have no idea when I bought this. And honestly, it's not a deal breaker for me. Not that. I mean, to me, it's okay. Because what I'll do, so if that happens, watch. I just have to make sure that, so if I take them all, I just have to make sure that I have them positioned in my stamp positioner or in a stamp block correctly. And now I know what the stamps look like. And then I'll just, got that down and then put it in the front. So, all I need to do. And you saw it here live. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. And then I think over here, I'm going to grab one of my favorite stamps. This is from the Eccentric set. For skill and amusement only. I just love that stamp. That one and the Condemned. They are just one of my favorites. And I'm just going to set that right here, let it drop. And then I want a background. I want another background. And that evened it out. Now, since this one was done on copy paper, again, you can turn this into anything. You can trim around the paint and then fold the one side up and then fold the other one down, turning into an envelope for your journals. You could do that. But I'm going to turn this into a card front. And what I want to do is put it on a cardstock base. So I am going to use the 65 pound. I am going to trim it just a little bit. So that's why I also let my stamping come off. Glue. I need my glue. I am going to use my Fabri-Tac since it's alcohol base. Oh, awesome, Reagan. Have a good conversation with the grandson. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, since this is alcohol based, it does not warp paper. You do not need a lot of it. Now, would I mind if it warped? No, and you'll see one of them where I use regular glue. Because again, that would just add to the interest of the piece. I need that color in acrylic paint. Just saying. Just saying. Because it's like the whole speckled egg in vintage photo. I'm just saying. Now, because this is sturdier, I'll be able to trim this down. I'm going to cut it to 4 3/4 wide. And we're going to take it to 6 3/4 tall. And there's our card front. Now, again, you can add ephemera, and we can do that. So let's put that there. On to the next one. So let's get so that's the idea. So let's get all of our stamping done. So let's line these up. This is cardstock, paper, paper, paper. Can we see all those? Yes. And this one's got some good backgrounds. This is called French Marketplace. This one's going to be tricky. Let's do that one last. And the reason why that one, you really don't have to do anything to that one, is basically because you've already got your design there. So do you always have to stamp? No. Absolutely not. You do not. I'll put this down in the corner. Change this one to black. I'm not worried about contaminating the pads. And if you don't have blocks that big, it's always awesome to just add this different ways, just to add to your background. And again, just keep stamping. Don't think. I usually overthink things. Yes, I do. You can break yourself, or it can be broken so that you don't, if you're looking to try to break that up. It's a process though. But I find if I move fast, I don't run into that problem, because you can see I'm just stamping, mixing different things in. I'm making sure that I'm flipping the stamp, turning it, not stamping it in the same way. So I do want the mixture of the brown and the black. I don't think I'm going to get this ink off me anytime soon. Too funny. But that's the fun. Overlap your stamps. Keep it plain. Remember, there are no rules. We are to just have fun. And have fun putting the things together. So here, I'm going to let those go. I really like that one. That one. All right, again, I'm just going to trim it down. Just going to trim all of these down. Trying to keep a straight line. And again, because these are on copy paper, I am going to put them onto the cardstock. And it's the same cardstock that we used for our prints. And for this one, I'll use my normal glue. And again, because it's copy paper, if you're using an art glitter glue or a PVA glue, or your Tombow, whichever ones, less is more, because there is water in these and it can make the paper buckle, but I'm actually going to make that happen on these. So I'm just making sure that it's around the outside to get that effect. So again, make sure you go to the edge. If this is the type of glue that you're using, that one I flattened out. And you can also use a glue stick. So again, use whatever you got. Just make sure you always go out to the end with your glue stick. And glue stick will work very well with the copy paper. So yes, I get asked that a lot. Can you use any glue? Yeah, you can. It all depends on what you want it to do. And now we'll cut these. And when I cut them, so I trimmed these down smaller so that I can have this straight edge. I knew this was cut to a straight edge. And again, I'm going to cut it to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And I'm not worried about where it's cutting, just letting them get cut. And you can see they change. When they lose their this one's going to be tough to cut. Just let it go, Des. Let it go. Where would this would go if I did that? All right, I'm going to cut it to 6 7/8. And then I'm going to go to 4 7/8. There we go. So that one's just cut a little different. Just a little. Little. For this one here, so here we have 4 of our bases. For this one here, we're going to get this not cut down yet. I don't want to cut this one down yet. And I'm going to grab, hopefully this will work. Mm-mm. And we can do, even though it's dark, we can do mark making on this. So if you have acrylic markers, they would be great. I just didn't want to dig mine out. And all you have to do, because it's dark, stamping on it, we can still stamp, but we can add our own marks with, again, you know, a jelly roll. And you don't have to go overboard. Again, just put marks down. Put scribble. Tangle. Whatever it is that you would want to do. And we can even put a circle. With a white gel pen, just go slow. Sorry for this horrible noise. And then we can add dots. And you don't have to do this in white. You can do it in any color you want to do it. We can add squiggles. Just have fun with it. I would say do you can do that too. Just use a light hand with the gel pen. All right, now this one's on cardstock, so we don't have to add it to a base. I'm so sorry. I have a tickle in my throat once again. But it's good that I still do have the straight edge. This one I'm going to cut down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. All right, so there is our card fronts. Now let's turn them into cards. But I need room on my table to do that. Oh, if you guys only saw outside of the viewing area, you'd be amazed. I'm just saying. All right, what color should our bases be? Let's go with white. Well, we're going to go with that. that. There we go. Now you can put a mat down. So we're going to go 10 by 7. And then I did choose 2 to be in ivory or cream. Scraps that we keep. Yep, now let's score off. Biddy! Camille! You snuck in. Oh, I was having a time with it. But having fun. Having absolutely a lot of fun. And I am so sorry my hands look the way that they do. But that is the sign of having fun. All right, give me 1 sec. Hang on, I'll be right there. Okay, so sorry about that. I had to, so I'm always on call for work. So something came across the phone and I had to quick write it down and I didn't have time to grab my be right back sign. Okay, so you can mat these, but you don't have to. You can ink around them. I'm getting smudges all over, which I'm fine with because I'll be able to cover it up unless I put smudges all over, which is very possible for me. All right, so here, that one's side's good. That's got a smudge up. Okay, so that side's up. That's got a smudge. Oh, that side's good. Let's see, that's got a smudge. Okay. We have been in luck. There we go. So again, we can just put these straight down. This I know I want it on ivory. I think that one would be fun on ivory. And then these two are going to go on to that. All right. So that was not a bad day today. 36 gel prints. Learning curve experienced. Which to me, I like jumping in and just having fun with it. Let's put some glue. On that corner there. And I'm okay with doing that with you all. It's how we grow with it. I'm not going to do, I mean, I could have done all the research. I could have sat here and played and played and played all by myself until I thought I got it absolutely perfect. And honestly, one, that's not me. And two, I don't have that time. Be very honest with you. So if we just all jump in together and then see the different ways in which you can put something, have fun with something, or maybe again, you don't want that jelly print. Maybe, hold on. Maybe you just want to get the brayer and have fun with the brayer to create your abstract backgrounds, because that's pretty much what that is. It's abstract. You can certainly do that because there's always options. There's always different ways for us to do something. I like that. I don't like that one. So it's just something to, to think about, to look at, and again, just to have fun with it. So I did have fun today. And yes, of course, it had to happen on the very last pull. Yep. Figured it out. Okay, paint, do a quick pull. The more or at least for me, and I'll continue to test that, the more you keep, you know, rubbing the paper on, the more it's not going to pull. Okay, I like that. And I don't want to add, although I could add something across the bottom here. Oh, I like that one. No. Okay, I like that one. So I had fun. I hope through my trial and errors and all of that fun stuff, I hope I gave you some tips and tricks. I hope I didn't frustrate you. But I know there's just so many other things that we can do with it. And I do want to revisit the whole painting onto it and then pulling. I just got to get the pull down. That's what I got to do. Got to get the pull down. And we'll put that one there. And then we'll leave this one alone. Oh, okay. Well, Angie, be careful. Safe. You know what, Biddy? If that works, yeah, I'm just, yeah, that wouldn't work for me. So Biddy's saying, you know, she just keeps telling herself, you know, why we don't need the palette papers from Tim Holtz because we can do this. She is absolutely correct. Yes, I like this because you can faintly see that stencil, that mask back there. She is absolutely correct. It would not work for me. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Eileen. I hope you had fun. I'm glad it was relaxing. Have fun, Biddy. But it is. It's a good way to say, okay, this wasn't working for her, so she tried this and she tried this. Again, it's not perfect, but it is very relaxing. I really enjoyed this, and I have some future backgrounds that I can use for collage. I can put them in a master board. I can do, I'm not going to fan through all of these. That was a lot. I mean, we still have 31 here, all kinds of different colors, um, different looks, not using a gel plate. And you just get all of these different effects. No two, what I love about this, no two will ever come out the same. None. And this is a mixture of our pulls, just using a brayer, using to clean off the brayer, We used stencils, we used plates, all kinds of things to create these prints. If you are looking to step your toe into this for the first time, all right, I would suggest, and a lot of people that I watch suggest a 5x7. It's just more control. Now they make that 3x5, I think it is 3.5x5.5. It is so cute. That one would be good too, because then it will just create the perfect front for you. And then you just have to trim it down. It's a good way to learn, but they run anywhere between $12 to $16 when it comes just to those two sizes. So again, it is an investment. You know, your brayers, they're another 10. Some are 20. So it is an investment. Again, you don't have to use the acrylics that I used. You can use your craft acrylics. If you have the other Ranger acrylics, you can use them. You can use, if you have fluid acrylics, you can use acrylic inks. You can use just about anything, and you can even use your ink pads. That's just not something, and that's just my personal preference. I want to use some type of an acrylic paint on my gel plate. And then as long as you care for it, don't put anything sharp or anything like that, then it will absolutely last. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video that launched, made a cute little pond featuring the Scrappy Tales Good Fortune collection. And then we did post a couple videos in our membership groups as well. We chose one stamp, made actually 5 cards, not just 3 cards, and then we are continuing on in our lap book. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Enjoy. Kalinda, have a good day. Dama, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, Camille, I'm glad you enjoy these as well. For those of you, I cannot wait for those of you that are going to Craft Roulette Live, I cannot wait to see and meet all of you in person. Everyone continue to stay safe and healthy. We are now into summer, so that continues in the wonderfulness of weather. So please continue to stay safe and healthy and all of that. Love to you all. I am truly grateful. Thank you so much for stopping by. And yes, I will see you next Sunday. Until then, guys, take care. Love to all.